After claiming Nicolas Maduro had rigged the election and it was actually Edmundo Gonzalez who won, the US State Department had to walk that claim back. Some of you all may recall that Secretary Blinken had the audacity to declare Gonzalez the winner of Venezuela's election, despite there being absolutely zero evidence suggesting that he actually won. Now, Blinken suggested that Gonzalez won after days of intense online propaganda by the West. Like this headline by The Guardian entitled, "How Venezuela's Opposition Proved Its Election Win." Or how the Carter Center tried to claim that there was a lack of transparency in Venezuela's elections, which is bullshit. Or how on X, how Elon Musk was pushing propaganda that was so egregious and debunked that even Nicolas Maduro himself called out Elon, saying that he looked desperate to invade Venezuela with his rockets and an army. And all this led to the opposition leader drinking its own Kool-Aid, joining the rally call for the Venezuelan election to be overturned. Now, unfortunately for the opposition leader, unlike the United States, Venezuela has a way to figure out if you are justified in calling for the overturn of an election. So Maduro was like, okay, since y'all think the election was rigged, since you think there were issues with transparency, I'll call you bluff. And he submitted a request to the Supreme Court of Justice himself to verify the results of the election. And before we continue, let me just say, the US would never, and to be quite honest, could never. But that's a different conversation for a different day. And the National Electoral Council figured out that with 96.87% of polling stations tallied, 51.95% of the votes went to Maduro, with only 43% of the votes going to the US-backed candidate, Edmundo Gonzalez. And of course, the courts gave the opposition the opportunity to prove the claim that there was some type of cyber attack, considering all of Venezuela's vote tallying happens offline, the transmission of data is offline, and the process is encrypted. And they had zero proof. Even though they tried to spend a week convincing the world, Maduro had stolen the election and the opposition party actually won. Oh, but the drama gets even better. Because yeah, technically, Tony Blinken is the head of the US State Department. He's the Secretary of State. And he said that the US recognized Edmundo Gonzalez. But the State Department itself actually walked back its early recognition of Gonzalez. As a matter of fact, the spokesperson for the State Department, Matthew Miller, actually said, the Biden administration never recognized Edmundo Gonzalez as the president of Venezuela. Y'all don't find that a little bit interesting? Because a lot of people have been curious as to who's actually running the country. Is it Biden? Is it the Vice President, Kamala Harris? Or is it a group of puppet masters playing the world from behind the scenes? And we just found out that the head of state, Tony Blinken, decided to make a decision about recognizing a foreign president before the Biden administration gave him permission to. Almost as if somebody told him he was running the show. Or maybe he's been running the show. So the Venezuelan elections have actually left us with more questions than answers as far as who's actually running the United States, and it's verified some of the concerns that many of us have had, specifically about who's running the country. But either way, I'm gonna just need the mainstream media and all the propagandists to be as loud about proclaiming Maduro's victory as they were about lying about him stealing the election.